Well, it's time to figure out how to get a supergroup registered. And it's done in City Hall. Let's run to the registrar. It's been about 5 years since I registered a supergroup base, so maybe a little rusty. It's this guy here, supergroup registration. And I can look at all of them, or I can just register my own. Let's come up with some silly name that may be unique. How about Galaxy City is the other newbie starting city, which is kind of not really used anymore. You can still visit it using the Echo teleporter from Ouroboros, but yeah, it's still there. There's some flashback stories to it, but Atlas became pretty much the place where everybody starts. Um, let's see, I don't want to lose my leadership even if I'm not active, so let's see if 600 will work. Yeah, this is a lot of days, so it's like 2 years before I finally lose. I don't know. Pick an icon, any icon. This will represent your supergroup. So when you switch to, I think there's a way to switch to supergroup mode where this becomes your chest emblem, and then you just use the supergroup's colors. So I don't know. Let's just pick some. You can always change this. I don't know, very red, and you can probably set permissions. I don't know. I don't know what exactly this one does. I think this allows your teammates to join your supergroup base, like use it when you're the leader, I think. This and you can form coalitions with other supergroups, and this will allow them to use your supergroup. Not exactly 100% sure on those, so and you can change the default colors when somebody goes into supergroup mode, so you can all match. Let's just keep it default. All right, I have created a supergroup. Let's go look at our base. I'm just going to create a very basic base with maybe one teleporter, but everything is really free, so it's not that hard to edit and make it complicated and have fun with it. There's plenty of videos on how to build intricate supergroup bases on YouTube, but let's go in there, and it's my supergroup base. And I believe when we start off, it'll just be a room. Yeah, a very basic room, nothing in it, and you can edit it. So what a supergroup base needs, I'll just keep calling it base, is power and control. And in the old days, you'd have to figure out, you'd have to keep playing and get currency and purchase a power and control item. Um, there's a lot you can do, and let's just pick a style. Let's maybe it'll be a sewer or Hirano. I'm thinking it's these are Japanese inspired. It could be an arcane brick wall. It could be some factory. Dingy walls. Yeah, it kind of has a maybe a sewery feel to it. Let's try sewer. Could be high tech. Yeah, maybe high tech. Yeah, obviously, there's so much you can play with here and really customize your base. And the next thing we would need to do is, let's see. Let's create another room. So this is the entry room. We can maybe create a medium room. You can also alter the overall plot of your base, and you can pick a like a super huge one. The only downside to that is it's really big, and you have to do a lot of running to get between places. So I tend to just pick smaller ones so that I could put everything together, get everything done, have all teleporters in one area. wonder why it's not letting me create. Maybe it's because I picked a really big room. Let's do maybe a 4x4. Yeah, okay, and this will fit. So a 4x4, so we can probably do a 5x5 here. Go to medium and a 5x5 room, and it should let me pick. Okay, so this is my base now. Okay, so that's 5x5. Apply style to the base. So since I'm in here, I'll just apply it. So now my whole base has that dingy. Was it dingy or did I pick high tech? I already forgot. Okay, so current room has a secret entrance. So this is the entrance. And we can move our secret entrance to be, how about right in the middle of the other room? Why not? And we can run in, and there's our secret entrance. You can only have one per base, obviously, because this is where you arrive. So the other thing we need to do is we need to power this room up. So since we've gone tech, let's go with the tech thing. You can have a basic, small generator, uh, basic generator. These offer some sort of power. Let's see. So these are all power generators. You just have to figure out which one generates enough power to power your base. These are all free. So some of these are cosmetic and some of these are genuine actual generators. So let's stick a fusion generator. That's it. Oh, well then. That's very big. So with the arcane, I was able to use these bookshelves, which didn't take up a lot of space. But I think with tech, some of these can be pretty big. I wonder, let's let's put a small generator in. All right, let's see. Okay, so we have one decorative item. So I'm guessing this is decorative, so it's not going to provide us with anything of value. So there's a way to switch to, there it is, to object. And no, it's not decorative. See? Once you select the object, you can see what it gives you. So 500 energy and 100 control. About a basic generator. It gives you 1,000 energy and 200 control. And like a turbine one, 5,000. So we could probably create a giant room where we can put all this power rather than this one. So let's create a new room, and it's going to be like our power room. We can, it says sell, but you really don't sell because it doesn't cost anything. So let's create a room. Let's attach it here. Then we'll put a giant generator in there. So we need one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5x2. So that would be in the medium rooms. And let's put that there. And since we're in this room, let's apply the style to the whole base so it looks nice and consistent. Place an item. Put our turbine generator in there. I have a feeling that it's going to take up a big part of this room. But that's what it was for. Let's make sure. kind of out of the way. And this should provide us with enough power. Let's see. Yeah, it's 5,000 energy and 1,000 control. And as we start placing things, we'll notice that they start taking up control and power. And we can add another one of these generators if needed. So let's go with, since we want to have some workshop, you want to have maybe a merit reward station. So you can actually right right click to rotate. Let's just put things here. We'll arrange them later. Um, this allows you to buy things with merits in your base, so you don't have to go looking for it. There's a mission computer. This will give you missions. Enhancement table. This is where you can store your enhancements. So let's put it all over here. The editor is a little wacky depending on the angle you're looking, but let's put one here. You can have a bunch of enhancement tables. So we'll just put a bunch. So if you have your alternates or alts in your supergroup, you can share enhancements across all your characters. So you can have one that's collecting them and placing them here, and then you can have new ones picking them up. You can also have salvage. So, oops. Like I said, it's a little quirky placing things. So you can have a bunch of these in there. Let's just stay with two for now. There's an inspiration collector you can place if you want. That's if you have inspirations and maybe you have ones you don't really need. You can put them here for other characters to use. This one's kind of backwards. Yeah, let's put these here. You have personal vault storage, and you can just place it right here. This is storage per character, and it's not shared. So if you have stuff you want to store on a given character in a vault, it goes here. And an important thing is an invention table. This is where you build your inventions, these enhancements that you use recipes and salvage to build. Now these tables here, I think they were functional in the original game, but it's all been combined and you no longer need them. So they kind of look nice, but it doesn't really do anything. And I think this is our basic map. And then let's add a teleporter. So the way they work is you would have a teleportation unit attached, and then you would put these little beacons right next to it, and that's what it's going to work with. So let's put a beacon for Atlas Park. I don't know, Boomtown, Brickstown. Um, when I built my last base, I put everything alphabetical so I could just, and I put little letters on here. There's a way in one of the objects is like just put letters, and I put letters on here like A through C, D through F, and it grouped all of these. And let's put a villain one in there too, just so we can show it. They have different kind of portals you can have. This is the Vanguard one. You can have a shard. You click on it. It kind of looks like a little electric spike. A black hole to go into, or a white hole. You can have a large portal. It looks like an actual portal corp. You can have a giant portal unit. It all depends on what you want to do and what you want it to look like. And you can also have custom ones. These A, B, C, D, whatever are for transporting within the base. So you can actually build a base which is pretty big, and you can use those teleporters to get between different areas of the base if that's what you want. This is kind of a basic telepad for tech, where you click on it and it'll take you to any of those areas. So I'm actually going to pick like a smaller one, and we'll just put it right here. It tends to pick up beacons around it. So here we have a very basic functional map, um, and it'll have 4 teleporters. And obviously, as you build this, you expand this. So we go to Options, Exit Base Editor, and here we are. We click on this, and you can see we can go to any of these places very quickly. We have our salvage storage that you can put things in, take things out, which is going to be shared by your characters. And you can put enhancements in. I can't share that one because it's a freebie. But if you had enhancements you didn't need, you can put them in here. If you construct enhancements that you can't use or want someone else to have in SuperGroup, yeah, store them here. It's your fully functional personal storage area. And mission computer, which right now, since I'm level 7, I really can't do much, but this will get populated with lots of flashback missions, so you can actually start flashback missions here. You don't have to go to Ouroboros anymore. And a merit vendor, which has the current rewards that a level 7 can have. Some of the salvage is really useful. Like you can, when you get to level 50, you can up the enhancements to go one more, so they can go all the way up to 55. So you can have level 55 enhancements on your characters. This allows you to convert salvage, and this allows you to remove salvage. So when you manage, you can actually, if you have like an extractor, you can take this out and put it back in here. Otherwise, you can't really do anything with it. Um, I'll have another video about how to use the salvage converters. It's an incredible system that lets you convert between different salvage types and upgrade salvages. And it's really useful if you get recipes that aren't quite what you need. Then you can use this to convert it, and you just have to build up merit to buy these. So you go out, you do task forces, you do your weeklies, build up merit, and it's relatively cheap. I think it's 10 merit for 30 converters, and that'll allow you to convert between them. Anyways, we'll do another video on that. So this is our very simple supergroup base. We can edit it. We can put nice decorations in here. We can make it a little less industrious. But yeah, it's basic, it's simple, and it works. And then obviously put all, I would go through, the first thing I would do is put all beacons. And I think it does about 6 or 7 zones per beacon. You'd have to experiment. So you'll probably have like a row of beacons with a whole bunch of um, teleporters, I'm sorry, with beacons behind it that will power it. So you can pretty much use a supergroup base to go to most major locations. And that's pretty much it.